Greetings, everyone. In this video, we want to assist Zimbabwe exemption permit holders on the simple process of applying for a permit. We always say that comrades should join our social media platforms because others who have done so or who have applied do share lots of information in terms of the process of applying. The Zimbabwe community in South Africa is active on WhatsApp, on Twitter, is active on Telegram, on Facebook. So comrades do share information. So if you are not in our platforms, you come to my inbox. Because of the pressure of work, I might actually take maybe 36 hours to respond to your inbox message, whether Facebook inbox messenger or WhatsApp message, and you will get discouraged and you feel that we are not really cooperating to try and assist you. But comrades do share in our platforms. For instance, one comrade has shared how the process works in applying in our Telegram chat group for educators. And I'm simply going through what the comrade said. He has given me permission to share with others. So this will not constitute a stealing of information. It is in our platforms, posted by our comrade. Asked the comrade and said it is fine that we circulate to as many platforms as possible, including on this YouTube channel. I am Ngabuto Nicholas Mapena. Please like the video, circulate, and subscribe. So the comrade that applied is an educator in South Africa. They applied for a waiver in September 2021, was intending to move out of the ZEP because he realized that ZEP might be discontinued. So he then started the process of applying. So he says the application is not complicated except the rapture issue, which tries to verify that you are not a robot. So he advises that also clicking going back icon may cause you to start all over. So be careful when you fill your details and save each finished step to avoid being taken back. And the comrade advises that when doing the application, patience is required. I've been receiving quite a number of inbox messages, comrade saying, Comrade Mapena, we do not have patience, but the comrade says patience is required. He says if you can't remember your previous ZEP login details, you must register as a new user. Remember, you applied in 2017 for the ZEP, and now if you do not remember your details, please apply as a new user and create new login. That is ID login or password. Beside that, things are simple and straightforward. There are no complications. Previous reference is the is ZEP reference, because we are asked when you are doing the application to say what is the previous reference number. So it is the ZEP reference number on the current permit or current ZEP that you have, and then there is also a question of date of entry, because some of you that have visited the website or the page, you are asked to indicate the date of entry, and says date of entry into South Africa is a date that correlates with the dates on your permits, either previous or present, that you can submit as photocopies. So if your permit was issued saying on the 14th of December 2017, that becomes your date of entry. Or if it was delayed, issued say on the 17th of February 2018, you use that date. It says do not use other dates before you had a permit when you were coming in as a visitor. So you only use the dates that are your permit. That is the issued date that is there in your permit. That's the date that you use. And it says before one can apply, they need some essential documents to be done by the employer and themselves. Others you print from the computer when you conclude the application. So the following are the documents that are basically required when you are making your application. That's the one online application form. If you visit the VFS website, when you click there, you will see the online application form. Two, you must have an appointment letter. When you complete the application, indeed you have to get the appointment letter. Three, proof of payment, both the printed one from the site and the proof from your bank, such as a statement covering that transaction. So because once you complete the application online, you must have a proof of payment. That's when you get the appointment. So you must submit that as proof of payment. It says your CV is required as part of submission. That's number four. And number five, your passport. And I'm sure you also make copies of your passport, but you must have a hard copy of your passport. Six, copies of your previous permits. In if you had a ZS pin, you had TZ pin. If you still have those, you should carry them. But I don't think here it's a trend much because we know that others lost even there's passports with a ZEP permit. But if you have copies of any of those, you are required to carry those. But like I'm saying, I do not think you'll be rejected on the basis that you do not have, say, you do not have the copy of your ZEP because you lost your passport, and I'm sure you will have done a police affidavit. Because if you lost the passport that the permit, you do a police affidavit to get yourself a new passport. Yeah. And then number seven says confirmation of employment and the background of employer. This obviously you get that from your employer. So a confirmation of your employment and the background of employer. Eight, employment contract with your signature and employers. So both the signature of your employer and yourself is needed. Number nine, letter by employer requesting a waiver, that is exemption. We have discussed in the previous video defining what a waiver is. And here, number nine says letter by employer requesting a waiver, that is exemption, for a certificate of labor when applying for the work visa. Here you specify these sections or clauses that you want exemption for, depending on what you want to be waived. So we've been trying to explain this, that a waiver is not just the uniform, because people have different conditions and different or requests for what should be waived or what should be exempted, as we explained in the previous video. If you check in this YouTube channel a video where we talk about the waiver, you will get more of what we are talking about in this video. And then the comrade continues, it is wise to get the last three requirements in place before you start your application, because it will be difficult to choose a submission date and conclude the application without having those documents first. The last three that is the comrade is referring to is number seven, which is confirmation of employment and the background of employer, employment contract with your signature and employers, letter by employer requesting a waiver for a certificate of labor when applying for the work visa. So he says you need to have these three before you start the process of applying. Then the comrade continues, you only choose dates after paying the application fee. This is normal. You remember when you were also applying in 2017 for a waiver, you get to the system, that is the computer, you apply. Once you complete, they will give you a bank account, which is Standard Bank. I'm not sure if they've changed, but in 2017 it was Standard Bank. You go and pay your money in the bank. Once you pay your money is when that you get the confirmation, the appointment letter, sorry to say. So it says you only choose dates after paying the application fee. When you click on the date on the calendar, wait briefly for time to appear on the right side of the calendar. Then you continue after clicking both the date and the time. Remember, the comrade said patience is required when we know that many comrades do not have patience. It then says you download 1 up to 3 when you logged in from your VFS page after completing the appointment. This is what the comrade can recall when he made the application. Like I'm saying, this is taken from our Telegram chat group, the Zimbabwe community in South Africa Telegram chat group on educators. So the comrade had posted this. I think it was on the 3rd of January, and I sought permission and agreed, and I thought I was then going to record a video for this, but of course I delayed. I see comrades are writing. I will simply read so that it also assists those that are not following now. The comrade Proteas Proma says, Mabena, I'm a Korea driver on ZEP. Can I get the new visa? Please check the video that we did on general workers. Comrade Shelter Mkwanan says, morning Mabena, thina ama-domestic workers sesivunyelwa vele. We have said domestic workers under the current Immigration Act, they do not qualify, and people of low skill as well. This were also explained in the other videos. You remember, we said that we do not think that more than 5% of holders of ZEP will qualify. Comrade Trevor Guna writes, Mr. Mabena, what is government of South Africa saying to those who were employed in 2009 and they were using ZEP permits and their jobs were on critical skills, and now the profession is no longer on critical skills? This is why, Comrade Trevor Nguna, you require a waiver, as I've been reading here. So if you think there's an area that needs to be waived, or some of the requirements need to be waived, and your employer still need you, please do so. Comrade Candice Moyo says, good morning, Mr. Mabena. Would like to ask, how about us using asylum papers? What's the way forward? What's our status in the process? This process we're discussing is for the holders of ZEP following the South African Cabinet decision on the 24th of November 2021. It has got nothing to do with the holders of asylum document. But again, we explained on the holders of asylum documents. If you're a holder of an asylum document, you do not qualify here, because we are basically saying you are a victim in your country of origin. In this case is Zimbabwe. Therefore, if you go back to Zimbabwe, you might have challenges. Your life will be at risk. So you do not fall under the category of permits. And there is Comrade Blessed Sibanda says the link for Telegram. I will write my number here, so that which is 083340 1000. Once you WhatsApp me, I will send you the link, because I can't send it here. Comrade Terence Choroma says, good morning. Is there a need for police clearance from home and the medical reports? Yes, those are needed. At the moment, they are not waived. So you need to apply for the Zimbabwean police clearance unless directed otherwise. I know that the Zimbabwe Community Committee is discussing the issue of Zimbabwean police clearance at the moment. The status remains that it's needed, but we'll advise once we get clarity. And the Comrade Christine Venge says, if you're a banker, you're going to qualify, please visit the VFS website and check if you do qualify, because permits are listed. And Comrade Monica Kekana, did you hear Sihle Zigalala, Comrade? Well, Comrade Monica, I know you're a South African. Comrade Monica Kekana, I've not, I've been in Bulawayo. I just arrived yesterday, so I will catch up on the news. But share, you always share with me, Comrade Kekana, on what the Premier in KZN said. Comrade Norma Timu says, good morning, Mr. Mapena. I'm working as a domestic worker. So bengicela ukubuza ukuthi which permits do I apply for? I think I've responded to this. Comrade Kulumani Mo says, good morning, Mr. Mapena. What about in nature guide or game rangers? Please or also apply for a general work visa and see if you'll be successful as advised in the document that I've just read out. Comrade Loveness Mkondo says, morning, Mr. Mapena. Thank you so much for the information. Be blessed. Thank you. Be blessed as well. So thanks, comrades. We will continue to engage. Keep writing your comments because your comments do help us, help a lot of people that follow this channel. As I've said, please like the video, subscribe, and circulate. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.